to love you. You need some loving, and I'll take it there. The young thing, the young thing, and now.
Hey, 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 and thank you so much for tuning into Respectfully with Miss Pretty Young Thing. It's your girl PYT, and let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all. So there's a lot going on. Okay. When I say there's a lot going on, I don't even know what to tell you because there's too much going on. But we have some responses. So yesterday, I kind of sort of filled y'all in on everything that was going on all across the big three side of things by way of Summer's take of everything. Now we know Summer feels some type of way about her counterparts, which are Big and Dolly, not helping her with the Tuskegee situation. Now, two things can be true at once. One, Summer cannot fight Tuskegee on her own. Two, Dolly and Lex de-escalate and jump in. I'll say de-escalate by way of Lex and jump in by way of Dolly. All of the fights that she has ever had versus people. But Tasiki is a different breed. Tasiki is a different monster, and they have definitely shown that they handle her different. They handle her 100% different than they handle any of the other situations that Summer has been against. Summer always entered herself. Okay, this would not be a first time thing for Summer to insert herself. But why did they treat it different? Do we really want to know? The answer is because it's Tasiki. Simple as that. There's no other answer to it. It's because it's Tasiki. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things in which, like, if you really put it together, they all scared of her for one reason or another. Now, let's just break it down a little further. Now, Summer said that she was confused as to why they didn't jump in. This is what makes Summer fake. Summer is fake because she apparently had to sit down with and Dolly in front of Rolly and whoever else was in the room, stating that she didn't want none of her friends jumping in the situation. Okay, cool. So why the change of heart? Is it because us as viewers are in your ear? Is it because you're watching the show in real time and realize that the reaction that you had wasn't your big, bald, bold, cojones reaction that you usually have? Like, I feel like the only other time that we have seen Summer backed into a corner like that is against the Tinkerbella situation. Now the difference is she was hitting, Tasiki back, but I feel like she had no choice but to hit Tasiki back because she knew Bad Dolly and Lex were not jumping in. So it's either you throw a hand, try to make it, as, you know, some sort of, retaliation to be shown, or you just get slapped across the across the venue. I don't know, like, child. But it's still one of those things where it's just like, damn, like you lost. Okay? You lost, but even though we knew you were going to lose, you didn't go out with your dignity because you ended up going online and acting as if your friends were obligated to jump against you. Now, should they have? I think they should have in some ways, and I think they shouldn't have in other ways. I'm gonna play devil's advocate from every angle. All right. Now, as far as Bad Dolly versus Tasiki, we know that that happened. We know that they've made up, and we know Bad Dolly was not going to jump into the circumstance. But I feel like the way Bad Dolly did not jump into the circumstance, I can't respect it over Lex. Lex at least was standing in between the ladies, was trying to pull them apart, was trying to keep, you know, a safe distance between them so that Tasiki would yank this little girl up, right? Now, when it came to Bad Dolly, what did Bad Dolly do? Bad Dolly did the exact same thing that Biggie did. at the reunion. She remember Biggie hid behind Tinkerbella at Midwest and was asking Tinkerbella what was happening. But Dolly did the exact same thing. So it's one of those things where it's just like, why? So that's Summer's perspective. Nobody. Okay, so nobody helped Dolly. I agree a million percent, which is why I said that they were not obligated to jump in because it's one of those things where it's just like it's all for one and one for all for these three musketeers, right? It's all for one and one for all. So when it comes to the all for one and one for all, it's one of those things where Dolly wanted to, hold her own situation and they respected it, right? And in Summer's case, which is why I can't 100% take Summer's side in this situation, Summer, you said what you said, so you have to own up to it. Okay. You got into business that ain't had nothing to do with you. Your friends did not agree to it. Your friends are okay with Tasiki. Therefore, we're going to make sure that you don't get jumped. But then at the same token, we're not fighting for you. This is one of the only times that Bad Dolly did not jump in a fight for okay. Did she step in to help? Yes, but from the back. Watch the episode over, Call Me AC. If you watch, you'll see that Summer was standing I mean, Dolly was standing behind Summer the entire time, and she by the time Tasiki was kinda, trying to pull at her, she was kinda pulling Summer, aside and was just like, "No, Tasiki, no," and she low-key looked like she wanted to bust out laughing. I even said that in my review, that she looked like she wanted to bust out laughing because it was one of those things where it's just like, "Damn, like, Summer, you getting what you deserve, and there's very little that I can." Right, Summer knew what she had to do. Now, 2 things can be true at once. 1, Summer didn't completely back down, but we have to admit that she backed down. You feel me? Can we agree on that? Summer did what she had to do in letting her know, "Look, I like Chrisean. I don't like you. I don't respect you. This ain't my business. Why you trying to fight me, but you're not trying to fight your sister? You need to be fighting her and fighting them allegations." She was basically fighting with her words because she was just like, "Yo," she even said online, "Tasiki is too big. She's too brolic. She's a man. Get this man away from me." That's what she said on live. But it's one of those things where, like, Summer rarely separates her energy as far as what she says on the screen and what she says in the confessionals and what she says on social media. This is the first time that we've seen 3 different Summers. In person, she was just like, "Get away from me. You big girl. I'm not trying to fight you." In the confessionals, it was just like, "Go fight them allegations." And then online, it was just like, "Tasiki's a big girl. Why ain't nobody help me?" It's 3 different sides of Summer. So it's one of those things where it's just like, "Child, you back down and then you admit that you did not wanna fight her." So it's one of those things where I can't feel bad for Summer in that circumstance because at the end of the day, you bit off way more than you could chew. You got into business that ain't had nothing to do with you. Remember with Anna Mac and, Scotty's beef with Summer, Summer got into business that ain't had nothing to do with her. The difference between her getting in their business and her getting into Siki's business is Lex can handle Scotty and Summer can handle, Anna Mac. When it comes to Tasiki, nobody can handle her. That's the difference, to be honest. That's the difference. Because in every sense, Summer always jumps into situations that ain't have nothing to do with her. But she's more vocal than other people, which is why they always telling her to mind her business and stay in her place. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's just like, simply because it's Tasiki, everybody is handling the situation different. Can't nobody tell me otherwise. Can't nobody tell me otherwise. Okay. Y'all, let me know if y'all want to call in. I'm gonna put the link is down below so that y'all can call in if y'all want to add y'all 2 cents to what I am saying. But yes, I definitely feel as if like the ladies all together fell apart in episode 1 and 2. Like, they're usually a united front. Baddies Midwest, y'all couldn't tell the big 3 nothing. Baddies Africa, they were so together that it was sickening. Baddies USA, child, and I agree, she cannot blame her friends. She can't blame her friends for this one. She really can't. She really can't, she really can't, she really can't. Now, when it came to, Chrisean, I will say this. Chrisean, two things can be true at the same time. Chrisean is right. They know when to insert themselves. They know when they can attack the person that is attacking one of them. I just made the perfect example when it came to Scotty, when it came to Anna Mac. They know when when it comes to Pretty P, when it comes to who else? Shoot, even when it comes to Ivory. But when it comes to Tasiki, the eater, they do not wanna get ate. They do not wanna get ate. Out of the big 3, the only one that fought Tasiki was Dolly. I give Dolly her props. Out of the big 3, she's the only one. Now when it comes to Big Lex, will they end up bumping heads this season? Probably not. Will they bump heads on a future season? I would like to see it. I ain't gonna hold you. I would like to see it. I would like to see it. But Krishan was basically like, "Yo, y'all choose basically everybody picks and chooses." Rolly picked and chooses because Rolly was dragging homegirl all up and through the mud, right? Lex picks and chooses. Not even Summer picks and chooses because she never fought Tinka after Tinka slapped the mess out of. Tinka was the first person to slap the taste buds out of Summer mouth, and Summer did nothing about it. First person did nothing about it. Did not say anything. She put her wig on and she sat right back down. Okay. Now, when it comes to Tasiki, she's actually like, getting a couple licks in, but I feel like it's because security is there. I feel like it's because Lex is putting her big gigantic arms in between her. There's a couple different reasons why, but I feel like it's one of those things where like it's still selective on who they try and who they don't try, and who they are not going to try is Tasiki. Now, what I will say is this. I'm calling Krishan on her bluff because Krishan was telling Lex, here's the floor, you can have the floor." And Lex, being the verbal, person that she is, she wants to exchange the dialogue. She wants to kind of sort of figure it out with our words so that we don't have to fight if we don't want to. Krishan had the audacity to go on live saying Lex didn't want no smoke with her. Lex didn't want to fight. Lex didn't want no smoke with her. Now, y'all, if y'all look at the video that I just posted maybe 20 minutes ago, you'll see Lex take from that situation. Krishan does not want to fight Lex. Krishan does not want to fight at all. And if Krishan wanted to fight, her and Lex would have fought right in there. Because Lex definitely felt like Krishan was talking to the big 3 came to her statement and that it wasn't towards everybody. Right there is when Krishan was ducking smoke. Because you over here talking about the big 3, but Lex says, "Who are you talking about?" No, that's not what's going on. All of a sudden, you're just like, "Why are you escalating your voice? I'm talking to everybody. I'm not just talking to you." Krishan, why are you lying? Why are you lying? Why are you lying? And then another thing, y'all, I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm trying to make sure that I get to every point that I could think about before we call it a night. Yes, Krishan definitely backtracked. Krishan definitely backtracked. And then you know what else though? Um Damn, what was I about to say? So Krishan definitely backtracked. She backpedaled. She definitely came out like looking like she was ducking smoke. She was ducking wreck. We're not gonna say that she's scared of Lex. We'll chop it to the game of she's on her spiritual journey. But if we were to think about who's going to win a fight between Lex and Krishan, my money is on Lex. I'm sorry, Lex got two long giraffe neck arms that will swing Krishan from the windows to the wall. Child, and that's just what it is. That's just what is, okay? So, that being said, I feel like when it comes to Summer though, I will say this. Summer, people are being too hard on her when it comes to baddies. Reason why I say that is because we have to give her credit where credit is due. Summer is the only person to literally single-handedly damn near fight the entire cast. Damn near the entire cast. Only ones that she hasn't fought so far are the OGs. But she's got in a fight with Slim. She got in a fight with Anna. She got in a fight with Scotty. She got in a fight with who else? She got in a fight with Tasiki. She get what else? She got in a fight with almost everybody on this cast. She got in a fight with Ivory. She got in a fight with Pretty P. Who else did she get in a fight with? She get in a fight with every single she honestly has more fades as far as an attendance sheet than any other cast member, okay? Exactly, AC, but what I'm trying to say is reason why I bring that up is because Summer is damn near the same size as Anna, right? Summer is small. I've seen Summer. The I went to the I've been to auditions, I've been to reunions, and I went to their booking in Atlanta. Go check out my vlogs for all three of those. Um Summer is small. I've stood next to Summer. Summer is small. I'm 5'2". Summer gotta be at least 5'4", 5'5" at most. Summer is small. So it's one of those things where she's not running around saying, I'm little, I'm little, I'm little, I'm little. She's taking all these fades. Ivory is big as shit compared to Summer, and she still took that fade. Krishan's smacking her around, and she's doing her best to keep up while hoping that her friends are going to help her a little more, but she still took them slaps like as much of a G as she possibly could. Everybody keeps making the excuse that, oh, weight class, weight class, weight class, weight class. Rolly shouldn't be dragging Slim around, but y'all were okay with Lex dragging Summer around? Huh? But y'all were okay with Summer getting pummeled by Pretty P and Ivory at the reunion? Mi what? But y'all are okay with Summer getting smacked up from the windows to the wall for episodes 1 and 2 for USA? So why does the weight class situation not matter when it comes to Summer? Why does it not matter? Everybody talks shit. Everybody gets into everybody's business. The only difference is it is Summer. Summer is the reason why. Summer is the reason why. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, same you could say this thing about Dolly. She's smaller than them too. Yes, Dolly is small. But the difference between a Dolly and a Summer is Dolly can fight. That's the difference. Dolly can fight. Dolly from another fighting network to come join a prettier fighting network, but Dolly already like she don't bite more than she can chew. She bites enough that she can handle. Summer be talking out the side of her neck, and sometimes she be talking so much that she child, she's shaking the table. You know what I mean? So just because she can fight, she get a pass? No, no, you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. Understand what I'm saying. Let me give the example of Anna Mac. Anna Mac keeps saying, "Oh, I'm little, I'm little, I'm little, I'm little." Lex even said, "Anna, you're small, so I'ma spare you." Dolly even said it. "Anna, you tiny, I'ma spare you." But Dolly had no problem fighting Summer, and Summer is the same size. Lex had no problem fighting Summer, and Summer is the same size. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that at the end of the day, when it comes to these ladies, there is some sort of favoritism when it comes to, when they can and they can, when they should and when they should not. You know what I mean? Not weight-wise, Summer is taller than Dolly, but Summer is not bigger than Dolly. Yes, Dolly has a little, BBL or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't change the fact that weight-wise, when it comes to when it I if Summer punches a puncher bag and Dolly punches a puncher bag, Dolly's is going to go farther than Summer's is. You get what I'm saying? So it's still one of those things where it's just like, trust me, I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't change the fact that when it comes to Summer, even when it comes to Dolly, if you wanna use Dolly as an example, nobody looks at Dolly and says, "Dolly, you too small. You're not in my weight class. I'm not gonna fight you." Tasiki fought her, but when it comes to some of these other girls, the Anna Macs, the Mariah Lyns, people wanna be like, "Oh, you too small. I'm not even gonna do it." Summer even said that Anna Mac spit in her face a big loogie at the premiere, and Lex did nothing. So I guess we gonna have to wait and see, when the season continues, what exactly it was that Summer did that triggered Lex so bad that she left her bloody bleeding. Y'all realize that is the most bloodshed that we have seen on this network? We've seen braids come out, we've seen teeth lost, but as far as bloodshed, that is the most blood we have seen. Do y'all realize that is the longest period of time that we've seen 2 ladies fight before Zeus security jumps in? Zeus security usually jump in while the ladies are running towards each other before they even get a lick out. So what exactly do they have against Summer? We already know that there's an issue with Summer because remember, Summer, only reason why she got that little cleft chin, cleft lip situation is because she got in a fight with one of the security guards, one of the Zeus guardians. So if you getting in fights with Zeus guardians and ending up like that, child, I feel like there's something in the milk ain't clean. Like something they got something going on. I just think people are making excuses for Summer. Trust me, I'm not gonna make no excuse for Summer, but I'm gonna definitely play devil's advocate. Now, when it comes to let's play advocate on the side of Lex. Summer is doing all of this talking, all of this yapping, all of this talking, all of this yapping, but Lex even showed proof. Okay, Summer went on live talking about "Oh, they should have jumped in. They should have jumped in. They should have jumped in." Lex showed proof that right after the episode got filmed, that they were cool, they were laughing, they were talking, "Good morning, let's go get breakfast, hee hee ha ha." Why didn't Summer have that same energy with them then? Why is it that when us as the fans watch the episode and her friends see it and we in her ear and TikTok is tagging her in posts and Instagram is tagging her in posts, now she wanna go live and pop her gums? Why is it that Lex is saying now that anytime, Summer will say something on camera that's not matching her energy and her and Dolly will press her on the situation, she's singing a different song. The ladies keep saying that Summer is the same person on and off camera. Personality-wise, okay, I hear you, but that boldness, that fire, trust me, that is TV. That is TV. So for that, I cannot take Summer serious because at this point in time, now I feel like in Krishan's tone, you doing something for what's it called? rage baiting, clout chasing, all of that stuff that you're doing right now, you're doing it the most. I have to believe that at that point because she talked so much ish about Tasiki, and now all of a sudden you cannot take what you have dished. You inserted yourself in business that has nothing to do with you. Now, I know my sister, speaking for Tasiki, I know my sister put me on blast. I know my sister said too much, but I have had conversations with my sister, and we are cool enough to be on the same season. But it doesn't change the fact that I still got a bone to pick with you because you singled me out. You called me out. You inserted yourself and said some disrespectful stuff about my people. Mind you, the reason why Summer inserted herself is because Tasiki did what she usually does. She turned up her nose at Summer, which is the same thing she did with DTB, which started their beef, saying that, oh, she did something in a live with her child there. And Tasiki was just like, you can't be doing stuff like that around kids. And then that's what caused Summer to say something like, oh, you should be the last one to be talking about what people do around kids in reference to Krishan. And then the beef kinda sorta continued from there. So, I just feel like when it comes to Summer, she definitely bit off way more than she could chew. She bit off way more than she could chew. Like, I feel like she definitely needs to figure out a way she needs to figure out a way to kinda sorta reel it back in and get it figured the hell out, because now she's backtracking. Krishan has backtracked. If y'all think Krishan has backtracked, Summer is backtracking because as much hoopla that she's talking online, that same mouth fixed itself to say, "I'm not going to the reunion. That's why I'm not going to the reunion. That's why I quit Zeus. That's why I'm done with baddies." What? You mean you started all of that BS? You mean you went back and forth with the Malone sisters knowing dang well first of all, we furthermore, why we can't feel bad for Summer is because you signed your contract for the season knowing the Malone sisters were going to be there, which means you- your signature was down for the ass whooping that you knew you was going to have to take for the clicks and the rates and the watches and the fame and the Louis and the Gucci and the Prada and the wigs. You knew that was going to happen. So now when Tashiki's in front of you and you backtracking, you backpedaling, and you confused as to why your friends aren't jumping in for you, even though y'all talked about it back end, that you knew that they weren't gonna try to jump in for you. They cool with Tasiki, and mostly they are not siding with what you said about her. Now it's problem. Come on. I cannot take someone's side when it comes to that part. Like, I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. Two things can be true at once. They felt bad for Summer to the extent of what was going on with Tasiki slapboxing her across the room, they could have helped more. But y'all gotta remember what she said, how she said it. It was unprovoked. It was left field. It was too much. And again, Summer is too much. So Summer, when you are too much, win stupid games, do stupid games, win stupid prizes, whatever that saying is, it applies here. It applies here. Because at the end of the day, Summer, none other, you did too much. And now it is finally catching up with you. And now we are finally seeing you for who you are. You are Ducking Wreck. You are Punani. Because if you were really about that life, if you were really remember in the first time that we met Summer and she got in a fight on the bus with Ivory and then she got out of the bus, security separated her, put her in the house, and she was like, still pretty. You see with that same energy that she's able to get that, ass whooping with, from Big Lex with no problem, why couldn't you accept that from Tasiki? You got it from Ivory, you got it from Lex, but something about Tasiki makes your bones quake, and it's not just a Summer thing, it's a everybody thing. Something about Tasiki makes everybody's bones quake. We've seen what she's done to multiple girls. We've seen the lumps that she's left, she's seen the teeth that she's knocked out. You've seen it. So it doesn't change the fact that at the end of the day, like, child, Summer said it with her own mouth. Dolly, didn't leave with too many bumps or bruises. So what's stopping you from taking your ass whooping like a man? You said what you said, face your consequences. Simple as that. And the way Summer is ducking and dodging and moving and shaking and moving, child. So Summer, I feel like you're dead wrong to say everything that you said, and now you're talking about, "Oh, I'm not going to the reunion." No, take your ass whooping like a champ. Take it like a champ. Chin up, okay? You did what you did. You said what you said. Chin the fuck up, okay? As far as Big Lex goes, child, you look like you miss your friend a little bit. You look like you're trying your best to kind of sort of fill in the gap without making her look too bad. Which I can definitely say Lex is a good friend for that, because the way Summer is selling out and Lex is not being as disrespectful as Summer is. Lex is not being disrespectful at all. Lex is calling it how she sees it and telling her truth, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I do see that Lex did respect Krishan's wishes and not wanting to fight. She stayed comfortably in her chair. She gave her the floor. She spoke, okay? But I will call Lex's cap in saying that, um so Lex does not jump, but then she does insert herself. Okay, she fought on behalf of Dolly. When Dolly couldn't fight, who fought for her? Lex. Okay. When Anna and Scotty were going after Summer, who took the fade with Scotty on behalf of Summer? Lex. She had no issue with Scotty before that situation, and now you beefing all through the city because of it. Okay. So it's one of those things where at the end of the day, you're starting situations and going online and telling the internet, "Oh, I never get to, I never get to build bonds with some of these ladies because you chose your side. You made your bed. You laid in it comfortably. And now the bed is a water bed and some of them poked holes in it before moving the hell out. Now you want to get to know some ladies. Now you want to backpedal and say, I want to make friends. You know, I want to get to know some of these ladies and all that stuff like that. It's not going to be as easy as it looks, babe. Lex is a very pretty girl. She's definitely likable. A lot of people have said, including myself, that Lex, is more likable as far as the appeal of a baddie to the cast outside of the big three standing alone. Same thing with Dolly. Summer, on the other hand, I feel like she's weaker standing alone. I feel like she's weaker standing alone. I was poking fun in one of my videos where I said, Summer is the Beyonce, Dolly is Michelle, and Lex is Kelly. But it's actually the opposite because Summer cannot survive a solo career. What's the artist that was with the group that went solo that went trash? I can't think of one at the top of my head, but whoever that person is, that's Summer. Because I feel like I can foresee Lex becoming someone that is a desirable, likable person, makes amends with some of the girls or whatever the case may be. And I can foresee Bad Dolly, you know, fixing some of her situations and being, her own girl as well. The way that she was meant to be coming from Now That's TV. Summer, I really can't say any of it because the only reason why she ended up being friends with Dolly and Lex in the first place was because they came in helping her fight her battles because everybody was ganging up on her. So what's the difference now? The same reason that y'all were friends back then, the same reason y'all became the big three is the same reason that the big three is coming to an end. Like, that's a little backwards. So it's like this situation is all over the place. You could play devil's advocate for Lex, you could play devil's advocate for Summer, you could play devil's advocate for Tafiki, you could play devil's advocate for Krishan, you could play devil advocate for Summer, for bad out for any of them. And it's gonna be some right and it's gonna be some wrong and it's gonna be some truth. But when I tell you the big three beef is deeper than rap, it's so many moving pieces. Okay? But let me know in the comments how you feel about all of it, okay? Let me know whose side you're on if you're choosing a side. Are you team Summer? Are you team Dolly? Are you team Lex? Are you team whose team are you on when it comes to the big three? Whose inserted situation do you respect? Do you respect what Krishan had to say about it? Do you feel like Summer should be okay standing alone, or do you think the big three should have stood up on her behalf despite on them not, agreeing with what she did morally? Let me know in the comments how you feel about everything. Don't forget to check out my latest videos. I did post Big Lex going live. I did post Summer going live. Watch Summer first and then watch Big Lex because Lex basically goes live in a response to everything that Summer said. And yeah, don't forget to tune into this season. I do have my vlog up from the Atlanta stop on Baddies USA. Go ahead and check that out as well. Check out all my latest posts. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about the fashion in the professionals, and I'm going to try my best to upload my Jocelyn's Cabaret season summary. And child, we gonna see what else happens between now and tomorrow. And anything that happens, I'm gonna do my best to go ahead and give my take on it. I appreciate everybody that sat here and watched the video with me. And if you did enjoy it, please do me a favor, hit that like button, press that thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe. Last I checked, I was one subscription away from my goal for the week. Oh, never mind, we hit it. Shout out to whoever just hit me with the subscribe. We are officially at 2,300 subscriptions. And thank y'all so much for being here with me. I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in through Twitch, Instagram, as well as YouTube. And until next time, thank y'all so much for watching PYT TV. Respectfully.
Oh, dig it there.